Hi friends and fellow crafters, I have some news for you. I just purchased a Prusa i3 Mark II. What a great 3D printer, and wow, I'm just blown away by what this thing can do. So here we are. Is this the end of the DM's craft? I've done years of videos. I've shown you all kinds of crafting from my just initial idea of the 2.5D, which is just kind of taken off in all directions, including actually 3D print tiles. And you know, I've done 2.5D Next and Tilescapes and all that stuff, and I love all that. But wow, there's these 3D printers, and you don't really have to craft anything if you don't want. You could just throw it all on the printer and have it do it for you, right? So is this the end of the craft? Do I not need to craft anymore now that I got my printer? I just throw the file on there and I can make all my stuff? No, this is not the end of the craft, not the end of the world. Don't panic. Okay. I still love crafting. I really do. So I think of the 3D printer as more of a tool, you know, that I might actually bring into some of my crafts, you know, here on the channel. But for the most part, I'm going to do most of my stuff as you know, continue to craft. But those little extra bits and stuff, I'll probably do on the printer. But for the big stuff and all that, you know, I'll continue to do you know, crafting. You know, for one thing, it's just fun. It just really is a great hobby, and I really like the uniqueness of it. You know, the 3D printing is good for those people that have that itch that want everything perfect. Okay, it's great for them. But I really like the uniqueness of the craft, that everything looks different, everything has its own personality, and when you just take a file that somebody's made or you've made, and you print it, and you print it and print it and print it again, and you got 10 of them, they all look exactly the same, right? And there's not any kind of variation. But, you know, I really like that variation you get with crafting. So, you know, I kind of hemmed and hawed about getting a 3D printer for a long time, and you know, I thought it was time for me to jump in and get one. Now, I don't see me printing tiles. You know, most of the tiles have the same problems that I've always said these things have. Their walls are too high, right? You can't play in that stuff. It's so difficult at the table to play in that stuff. That's why I like Tilescapes and 2.5D. It's been my baby, and it will continue to be my baby. Now, as you probably know, you know, that are in 3D printing, Wylock has joined forces, and he's released a 2.5D version of his Wylock tiles, which are great. You know, that's great for people that don't have time to craft, don't want to craft. But I still just have this soft spot for individually crafted items and tiles. I just think it's, you know, there's just a certain look that you can't get with just, you know, duplicating, you know, every door looks the same or whatever, every table or door or building, you know. But it does have a lot of great uses, and I will be incorporating in my game because I incorporate everything anyway. I've got 2.5D, I've got Next, I've got Tilescapes. I just throw all that stuff together willy-nilly. It doesn't really matter, because to me, what brings the game to life is the player's imagination. That's why, you know, I don't have to have walls. That's why, you know, the 2.5D, you can imagine the walls, and you can tell the player something if there's something important on the wall, or maybe make a little craft that would be on the wall. But you don't have to show everything, and that's the beauty of an RPG. And so that kind of imagination mixed with the no walls or short walls is what I've preached all these years, you know, on my channel. And I'm still a fan of that. I still love that at the table. It works great for me. I know certain people like that, you know, that very precise, you know, 3D thing that you can get when you print stuff. You know, the big thing now is locking everything together. You know, you can lock it, and you can move a whole piece over with one thing. That's cool, yeah. But I can basically simulate the same thing with Tilescapes. I just get a board, you know, a foam board, and I just set it up on there, pre-set it up. It's the same exact thing, really. Actually, it's quicker to set up that way than it is to try to snap all this stuff together. It's like a puzzle, you know, get it all together. So there's good and bad things about both systems. But, you know, I don't see the printer taking over crafting. And as long as you guys watch me, as long as you guys want to see me, and Oh yeah, of course you, Roderick. Yeah, of course. Yeah, go on, Roderick. As long as you guys want to watch me and I'm not boring you to death, and there's only three crafters left that watch me, maybe then I'll retire. But we have a huge crafting community that loves to craft, and there are a lot of people that can't afford 3D printers or don't want a 3D printer. And it's just like anything; it's a tool. I mean, don't be afraid of it. But I'm sure there's a lot of people like me who aren't going to just make everything on a 3D printer for various reasons. They want to do it themselves. They want that unique look that they can get, and that dirt cheap. It is dirt cheap. Although printing on a 3D printer is not very expensive, really. The filament is not super expensive. It's the time. The time is a big factor because I could crank out stuff a lot. Actually, I think a lot faster than especially big. It's the big pieces I'm talking about. The printer is great for printing like stuff like furniture and little chests and that kind of stuff. That's great. But for the bigger stuff, I could crank it out way faster than this printer could. So there's that, and I don't want anybody to panic. I'm not shutting down my channel or anything. I just kind of wanted to tell you where I stand on it, and that I got one, and where I stand on it, and that I'm not in any way, shape, or form shutting down this wonderful community of crafters. You guys are fantastic. I'm telling you, I've met so many great people, and I love seeing what you come up with. And I don't think a 3D printer can ever do that. It can never really have that individuality. I think that you as an individual crafter have your own style, and I love that. I love that nothing ever matches what I've made. When people make something, it always has their own stamp on it. And some people think, oh, it's not as good as Scotty's or anything. I don't think that never crosses my mind. The thing that crosses my mind is, wow, that's cool. They have their own unique way of doing it and unique look. And when they make stuff, it looks like it fits in their world because they have a unique artistic point of view, which the printer is not going to give you unless you create your own files. And even then, it's going to make the same exact thing every time you print. So you're not going to get that cool variation that you can get from crafting. So don't panic, guys. I'm not leaving, unless you want to get rid of me, of course. I'm not leaving until, nobody wants to watch my channel and I'm done, then that'll be it. But I have no plans on quitting crafting. I love crafting. Most of my stuff will be crafting. Like I say, just maybe some little things here and there that I add to my crafting from the printer. Mostly, like I say, I'm using the printer for like furnishings and that kind of thing, little furnishings and that kind of thing. That stuff can be a little hard to craft sometimes, to scale and all that stuff. So it's good. It has its uses. It is a tool and it has its uses, I think. But for general overall crafting, no, it's no way, shape, or form going to take over what I do. So thanks for watching. I hope I didn't scare anybody with saying is the DM channel going away or whatever. No, it's not going away until you don't want to watch it anymore. So take care, guys, and I just want to say how much I appreciate each and every one of you for watching this channel, supporting this channel, and I hope you have the best time with your friends and family gaming and crafting. You guys take care.